Hello everyone, welcome back to another Age of Empires 4 commentary. I am Beyond, and today we have Beasty playing in the yellow as the French, taking on Jeanne d'Arc, who will be played by Sass in the red. Now it's going to be a French versus French. Can Beasty take down the mighty Jeanne d'Arc? She is obviously one of the most powerful units in the entire game right now. She's the only hero unit that pretty much exists in this capacity that has this much AoE, healing, all these things all at once. It does appear that she's now gone inside this house. We can no longer talk about her in that capacity. But that being said, don't have to introduce either one of these players. They've been on this channel multiple times, but BC's links will be in the description below. Would highly recommend checking out his stream or YouTube channel. Very informative and very fun to watch. The same goes for Sass, but he mainly streams, so his link will be in the description below. Now, in this matchup, honestly, I can't say that I've seen it very often. Not many people are playing French right now because Jeanne d'Arc pretty much does everything better besides the slight eco boost that French has with their villager production. You might see up top that BC starts to take a little bit of advantage, slowly but surely, with that production rate, especially when we hit into feudal. But I mean, not many people are playing French because Jeanne d'Arc just does everything a little bit better. And her involved in the army along with the French knights is just something that you can't really handle. And on top of that, she has the production increase as well that she can kind of enlighten away. So it's really tough to kind of match in this kind of matchup. So let's see what BC does into it. Now, traditional French kind of build order would either you can go all in on knights, you can build one or two to kind of have a little bit of defense, a little bit of harass. Then you can go for a second TC. But against Jeanne d'Arc, that might be kind of hard to deal, especially if she goes for the archer aspect or just killing all the boars all around. BC might send out his knights to kill the boars to kind of stunt Jeanne's growth in terms of XP. But, I mean, it's going to be very, very tough, even for the level that Beasty is. Sass just has essentially their civ, but slightly better, a little bit more juiced. So we'll have to wait and see. There goes the School of Cavalry down for Sass. Nothing too crazy. And let's see what Beasty does. We're going to see School of Cavalry. We're going to see the old Chamber of Commerce. Don't think we're going to be seeing that anytime soon. There's School of Cavalry. Remember, oh, actually, no. Jeanne's not making her herself. It looks like she does have a little bit of help on the top end side. So it looks like Beasty will be a little bit farther ahead. But since Sass dropped it down a little bit earlier, they might kind of even out to about the same time of finishing. Both players essentially have matched each other in terms of what they're doing. You can see that BC's thrown down this. They've also thrown down this as well. Getting that early wheelbarrow is super important in this matchup to run away from those knights. And the overall economic increase is just too nice to pass up. They're taking down every straggler tree that they can possibly find. They're working their way around. Then we'll move probably to one of the back end sides, or maybe this front one because it's within TC range. And Sass will probably go to this one because it's within TC range. Anything you can do to kind of prevent the constant harassment of these knights and Jeanne is something that you'll be looking for almost instantly. There's not many things that you can wall off on this map. It's going to be kind of a big wall off. Sass could do the entire thing back here, and then this little edge back here. BC at the same time could also kind of do it right here, and then technically could wall off over here, but I don't know if he wants to keep his stone safe and sound or not. It's almost identical wheelbarrow timings. Coming down, BC looks like he has the slightest of advantages and starting to collect those early berries. BC does have front side berries, so does Sass, it appears. So both players are not going to be immune to those raids early on, especially if they decide to kind of use these berry lines. The thing that both French players have in common is they have to move out onto the map with to get that food. They're not super stable early game, especially not with tons and tons of sheep. So they do have to move out quite early on to kind of collect these deer packs over here, maybe the backside berries. And usually how it works is that you have control because of your early knights. So it makes an impact and you can kind of keep map control. But in this front, both sides are going to have them, and one side is going to have a hero unit with them. So we're going to have to wait and see how that turns out. I guess it could be kind of like a split down the middle, like you take this side of the map, I take this side of the map. Sass, unfortunately, has a very easy raiding party over here. Beasty, fortunately or unfortunately for him, everything is kind of tucked all into one place. So one, a little bit easier because you can put a tower a little a tower a little bit closer, and you can kind of scoop up a lot more. And then you put another tower over here, and you can protect up to 10 villages at a time. Sometimes we see French players drop down 2 towers at one deer spot just to make sure they can protect every single villager. Now the knights are out on the map. We have 2 for Beasty and 2 about to be for Sass. And where is Jeanne at? There she is. Over here. She is at the woman on our stage, so she's probably moving out for this backside boar over here. Now that being said, Beasty can do a little bit of damage in this time frame, right? Because Jeanne is still not fully ready to go. And there you go. It's going to get actually charge on the knight, which is pretty nice. There's no chivalry just yet, so no one's going to be healing anytime soon. And it looks like Beasty also has another one coming in over here. Both players matching knight for knight at this point. Beasty knows though where Jeanne's going. She took out one of the wolves over here. And the next step is definitely going to be taking down this boar. Now, her in level 2 stage is nothing that scary at all. Another knight comes in. They're doing a lot of nice damage over here, and Beasty's keeping his scout alive, which is great. Allows him to see ins and outs of all these stealth force. Another charge goes off on this knight. So these two are definitely trading super, super well. Here comes another knight coming in, though. It's going to be 3v2. Beasty's going to have to back off almost immediately, but his third knight will be coming in. And it's just a charging battle for now on the map for Beasty. So it's just a battle of the knights, which, you know, we all love to see. It's always kind of fun, and who has the best micro. Now, I would say you would imagine that we give the nod to Beasty on that front, but we'll have to wait and see. The most winningest man in Age of Empires 4 for this year. Congratulations to him. And now we're going to go for the other boar on the other side. Actually, I think that was a wolf, unfortunately, and now they're going to be going for this boar over here. I'm assuming you're going to be pulling a knight. There it is. I was going to say, there's no way 4 villagers can take that down, or 5. You're going to have to reevaluate quite quickly. Beasty, smartly enough, pulls out a knight over here and prevents Jeanne from getting that extra XP from the boar. Remember, it was reduced from 50 down to 25, so it doesn't feel too bad, and here comes the knight. It can also do the tanking if it would so inclined, but it's some nice micro there from Beasty, keeping that one alive. That being said, it is a little bit low, so it's susceptible to a knight raid. It can just get one shot almost instantly. Knight's pulling back all the way back. Beasty, as you can see, as I mentioned before, does have this eco lead, so it is in his favor, technically speaking. And that will continue to grow the longer this kind of goes on, especially in Feudal Age. And Sass does not look towards the stone at all. So we're not going to be seeing any sort of... no ideas coming out of Sass on that front. Now, he does see these over here. Beasty it is pretty susceptible woodline over here. We have a barracks coming in. I'm assuming some spearmen will be the selection for Sass, just to kind of protect his home base. And now we see kind of a mounting offensive of Jeanne and crew up front for Sass. Beasty's kind of base is in a similar spot to Sass's. This one's a little bit susceptible to it, and so is this front side berries, but his own knights are over here, and he's looking to see if he can get any sort of harassment back inside. No one has died just yet, even though there's so many knights on the field, 7 for each. And Beasty's going to be running instantly. That's why you get that wheelbarrow, but 1 goes down, 2 goes down, so a nice raid there from Sass. Beasty's looking to trade, though, in on this front when it's in range of this TC, so some nice chip damage there, but you're going to take those 2 villager kills all day long. Sass was able to cut into that early lead that Beasty has because he was the original French. He was the OG. He was here first, so they get a little bit better production in terms of villagers. It is 8-7 at the current moment, 2 more on the way, but a few spearmen are actually in the mix. I'm assuming just they're going to stay at home to protect something. We do see that they're moving out for this kind of clumped deer pack up front. Now, Beasty can definitely do some damage on that front. Unfortunately, does lose a knight to just some missed micro there, and Beasty now has chivalry, you can tell, because he instantly starts to heal up. Let's see if... we do not have that for Sass, so these trades are going to be heavily in favor of Beasty. Beasty also can tell there's no... but Jeanne does have the heal, so even though Beasty has chivalry, it doesn't matter because they have Jeanne. Jeanne's making a quick sprint across the map, and these knights are going to be very susceptible, so Beasty better pull these all the way back. Does not want to lose any because he can heal up eventually. There they go. There goes the healing. 20 damage done, so he actually might lose a knight in the back end side, but some nice micro there to take a few of those charges so he can pull all the way back. The knights have kind of met in tow. There's 11 total on the map, so Beasty's going pure knights. We'll have to move out eventually, as I mentioned before. Does move out in this deer pack when it's kind of clumped on the boar and drops down 2 outposts. So kind of a nice play here and pretty much stock standard, I will say. You could go for that kind of that more 2 TC route, but Beasty's goes, you know what, I want to night duel you, essentially. And now Sass is actually adding in some spearmen, which is a nice kind of mix-up here. It will be nice if they're able to kind of take the charge of these knights. If they don't, though, 12 French knights can still do a ton of damage, even though they're into spears. They kind of wreck them quite quickly, so nothing to write home about on that front. But here we go, Beasty sees him. Let's see if he decides to engage. He does. One knight does go down almost. So that is the power of the healing. So one does go down there, but now Jeanne's surrounded. Oh no! The rage case happens and Beasty picks off Jeanne. Rest in peace. That's brutal. And early on, that's not what you want to see. You can see Beasty's now start to up that range and took down 2 villagers as well. So he must have raided somewhere else quite stealthy. But Sass somehow finds this out. Or maybe Sass just knew that this was going to be happening. I think this is just very unfortunate for Beasty. One does go down though, so Beasty does trade out quite well. But these 5 are goners. That's a bummer. And now they're all being kind of chased down. These 2 are going to be completely sacrificed. And where is the rest of the knights? The knights are actually moving in. So they're trading for toe. Sass now has the advantage up to 5, but now Beasty's going to clothesline a bunch. He's going in. Boom, 3 instantly taken down, and they're going to be moving in on this keep. They don't want to deal with this, though. That is a sizable amount of spearmen, and Jeanne's already back. A little bit of OP-ness coming in there. You do hate to see that. She is OP for the biggest reason, and it's probably because she can just pop right back up. It's crazy. She dies, and instantly she's back on the battlefield. Seems to be a little bit of a negative feedback loop, but I'm sure they're going to adjust it quite soon in the next patch. That's a lot of spears, though. Going to get out of there ASAP. 15 on the map, 4 more in queue. They will actually take down this wolf, because that's actually free experience for Jeanne. The biggest kind of like perimeters right there. There we go. So you're going to take it down. Boom, 12 and 12. And remember, it's by just proximity. She doesn't have to do the killing blow herself. So it can just be just what's going on over there. And there you go. And now they're going to be chasing down this knight group over here. Beasty's actually going castle behind this. Still has a 7 villager lead, even though he has lost 7 as well. The scout will be going down, which is going to be great for stealth force. And now they're just going to be kind of chasing down all of these. We do have a knight coming up here, cleaning out yet another villager. It's 7-7 in total. And there we go. That is the power of not having a scout, right? So that's exactly why Beasty and every French player always has this kind of guy hanging out. He does look like kind of like a pretender, but he plays a very, very important role. A little bit of misclick there. I think he wanted to do an opposite charge, but just kind of didn't actually get it off in time. And they're constantly chasing all around. Jeanne, though, is not level 3, so she does not have the ability to kind of actually chase these people down. Chivalry is coming in for Sass, so it should be a pretty sizable army. But once Beasty gets Guildhall up, and Sass will see this, that's why he has many more units, 32 to 16. Sass has to go now, right? That is the go button in Age of Empires 4. If you have not been investing in your economy, or you're not looking to go up anytime soon, and you've invested in army, and you see your opponent goes up in age, you better hit the go button almost immediately, because if you don't, then this is what's going to be happening. The counter units to what you have on the field will be coming out at Castle Age and above. 17 French Knights are on the way, and that is the upgrade. You have about a 15-second window before this is going to turn very, very bad, and all 10 of them instantly go in, and Beasty is on the way with his Castle Age Murata, and there they are. They will not get down just in time, though. So more and more villagers are going down. I love that glitch. It's so funny. This one villager, though, goes, don't worry, the squad's coming, and here they are. These are spearmen, though, so instantly going to stick on one of those knights, taken down almost in a matter of seconds. Another knight's going to be going down, but unfortunately for Sass, did not actually get that off just in time. And now Beasty's just kind of microing back and forth. This is really nice by him. But these spearmen are playing a pivotal role. It looks like Jeanne is low. She does get sniped out by these crossbowmen. And now Beasty's going, you know what? I have so many knights. It doesn't even matter if you have the counter unit. I have more knights than you have spears. So 14 was enough. I believe he had about 22 at one point. But Sass is completely eliminated and Jeanne is down. I mean, is the counter Joan of Arc the French? Is that just what we're learning here? Is Beasty just that dude? I mean, that's always very possible. He's probably one of the best players in the entire game, so he could just be that dude. But I mean, this is looking pretty good. I mean, there's nothing too crazy. BC lost villagers, not like he's played like a picture-perfect game. And this is a very high-level player. Sass has been involved in numerous pro competitions. So this is kind of enlightening at this point. Both players did decide to go for an all-in feudal age push, which I guess would like knight. But I mean, BC's now castle age. So I don't know what I'm even talking about. He did invest a ton in the feudal age, but I mean, his town center has just been cruising around. Has that 7 village league, could even have more if he didn't lose 11 of them. Feeling pretty good at this point. So if you are Beasty, you're probably pretty confident in your abilities to kind of win this one out at this point. But I mean, there is some ways for Sass back into this, right? When Joan of Arc gets to level 3, that's a huge win con. If these spears can also attack and brace when they're getting broadsided by the knights like this, that is a huge win con. But the unfortunate thing, of course, is that these are very, very slow. So these knights are going to take forever to go down, and if you don't get them caught. The Arbs are coming out for Beasty, but he's not decided to let them roam around just yet because they are very susceptible to getting caught out. Jeanne is level 3, so this is a sweet spot for Sass. He can do a lot of damage. At this point in time, you can see the army values are still in his favor. So I would not count him out just yet. But you gotta expect this is gone to plan so far for Beasty. Honestly, the only thing that kind of came up snake eyes at this point is probably this topside boar shenanigans that went down. We do see that the horsemen are the selection for the companions at this point. And here comes the Arbs. We have 8 on the field in total, 2 more coming out. The knights are also being produced, and BC scooping up relics. Has one in hand over here, and we'll get behind this wall quite soon. We will toss it away in this monastery. BC's also going, you know what, I think I'm going to beat you. I'm not only am I gonna fast bruise prelates, but I think I'm gonna get all these relics. And the first one is going down right there. And he's coming in for more. BC's also found a sweet spot. Looks like he's gonna get 1 villager kill plus some idle time, so not the worst thing ever. Sass is now going up into that guild hall. But let's see what we got going on over here. Looks like we're generating on food at this point. We have a lot of resources. So if you do randomly see BC just pop 600 food, it's because of these collect resources. So he could just instantly go up to Imperial Age at a moment's notice, or just produce randomly at 6 nights worth of food. So it is a very, very powerful thing. Actually, not 6 nights. What am I saying? Let me see. Nights are 140, so about 5 nights worth. No, 4 nights worth. Wow, math is difficult. Sometimes in that moment, it was extremely difficult. Now we can see that BC is starting to even out the playing field in terms of army value because those Arbs are coming in, and we do have a lot of spearmen for Sass. So this is actually pretty good for both sides. Sass did stop the collection of that 1 relic over here, but Beasty has 2 more on the way. So he actually was smart in actually creating 2 of these, and there's going to be lots of passive income coming in. 2 more on the way. Beasty's going to fight for this last one 100%. Let's see, do we have any prelates on the way for Sass? We do have the Castle Age Knight upgrade for Sass, which is very important in these fights. We actually have a second TC being thrown down very late for Beasty. Looks like he's collecting a lot of stone at this point, probably to throw down a fort so he can get that extra production speed in the backhand side. It looks like the fort can fit perfectly right in there with all of his production. For those of you who don't know, a fort instantly starts to produce, and it's going to fit right there. A fort instantly can increase all the production times of all the buildings that surround it. So if you are the French, a lot of times you'll see them kind of build their production in the front, and then they'll just drop a fort right in the middle. BC went on the backhand side, but luckily for him also, this town center hasn't been seen just yet, and there we go. Sass finally sees it. Remember, only 7 over there, and they're actually going to run into these, which is going to be brutal. But here are the Arbs. They're one-shotting. Oh no, they're one-shotting these. This is brutal, and now BC can kind of come in for the surround. This is the true platoon over here, and they're going to broadside this front over here. That was very anticlimactic. Joan gets charged by like 8 different people, and that was pretty hard to deal with, but some nice overall damage. The good thing, though, is that the French knights have that chivalry bonus. They'll be able to kind of they'll kind of shake off any little chip damage that Jeanne does. That's some of her power against other civs, is they don't really have the power to heal that easily. Of course, they can have their religious units heal them up, but it's not always as simple. So that chip damage does start to add up over time. But for Beasty, it's just passive healing over time. So nothing is going to really be done from any of those Wrath kind of commands that just don't have follow-up at all. We still have no crossbowman for Sass, which I think is kind of an interesting move. A lot more spearmen, but I mean, this composition that Beasty has does look pretty, very, very nice. And on top of that, now has 2 TCs that are producing faster than Sass's just 1. And let's see, has he used those tickets yet? No, he has not. Look at how much food is being ready. He's going to go imp randomly. Watch. So he's floating the food right now, and this is what's going to happen next. You're just going to be hanging out, chilling. You're going to see him get down to about 1,200 gold, and then all of a sudden, randomly, at a snap of fingers, he's going to be Imperial Age. And you're going to be saying, like, how on earth did that happen? That is the power of that guild hall. Now, Sass is looking to harass a little bit. If he can find these 2 monasteries, actually will be picking up some nice value. And there it is. Boom. You see how quickly that one happened? I wasn't even able to see it. That's how quick it happened. I was looking at 1 second over here for the wall damage, and voila. Red Palace being dropped down right down the middle. This middle sacred site over here. And it's going to be taking out this forward gold so Sass can't actually mine it. And it looks like Beasty is going to be able to get this up. These knights, unfortunately, did not go the correct way. If they did, they would have actually been able to stop this because there's actually no backup here for Beasty and only 17 villagers. Those get cut down pretty quickly. He wouldn't be super upset with losing the villagers. He'd be way more upset. Oh, where is the wall? It's just Beasty just kind of having a good time and just showing that he has all those relics. Just wanted Sass to know. I think it was drawn down right in the middle. There is the keep right down the middle. And there is the Imperial Age. There is the red keep, and he's actually going to take Sass's gold on top of that, which is hysterical. Now let's see over here. We cannot afford elite upgrades just yet, but that will be the first selection once he can get an upgrade for something. We also have enlistment incentives, improves the French influence by reducing unit cost even further by 5%. So Beasty's army is going to be efficient and cheap, especially around that back end fort over here. And this keep, as you can see, archer ranges and stables by 20% of the cost. So that's why it's so important to have these keeps around all those French buildings. And now with this enlistment, he's going to get 25% off, which is such a good deal. If you see that in the store, you take that deal 100% of the time. And it looks like these arbs are moving in, but this range mass is going to be hard to deal with. And this outpost is going to be going down quite quickly. It does get the upgrade just in time. So actually it will be standing just for now, but some nice trades back and forth for Beasty. There's 20 arbs in the back end side, so they will be able to take down whatever is kind of running at them. And they have the power of this red palace. Again, Beasty's kind of turning and burning back to try to get as much damage as possible. And they can't one-shot a knight, which is unfortunate for them, but they can two-shot one, it looks like. And there we go, just in range of the red palace. That's what Beasty was looking for. Beasty's cutting back not only to get away from these spears, but also so he can have some help from this red palace, which is throwing BBs from the middle. And 83 to 56 is the current tally on villagers. Beasty's floating about 1,000 gold, but probably has that in mind for more and more upgrades. You can see, look at here comes all those eco upgrades, and we're going to get Imperial Age Arbs and Imperial Age Knights, which these are just the best unit in the game for sure. Besides maybe a fully upgraded Gilded Knight might have a chance against one, but these things go crazy because of the healing as well. The Mangonel getting some nice value there. Sass getting a little bit cheeky with it, but Beasty's quick to kind of move around. This Mangonel is going to be very, very important, and 36 Spearmen is a selection for Sass. Let's see his guild hall. What do we got going on back here? We have only 1,200 tickets of all food, so the same thing is going to be done from Sass. Instantly going to spend them all those tickets, and we're going to move on from there. Let's see what the guild hall is collecting now. Guild hall is still collecting food up to 500 already. BC can actually cash that in and produce a lot of these knights. A knight battle up top for the ages. Joan of Arc, as you can see, just how powerful she actually is. Even though these are Imperial Age knights, that is the power of Jeanne. she was able to actually help Sass win that engagement, or at least come out on on top, which is insane given what was happening. Another keep is going down over here for Beasty to secure yet another gold vein and stone vein, and a sacred site again. So Beasty has full control over this side of the map, plus this red palace. We have cannon placement coming in. Just kidding, it was reselected for burning oil. And no trebuchets just yet for Sass. Actually would be very nice because you can actually take it out from afar, and these spearmen would be able to protect it very, very easily. That's one of the major issues with the French, with the knights being your kind of siege defense, or your siege attack, instead of having springholds. If you just have knights and they have a bunch of spears like this, you can't get to this mangonel no matter what happens. Sass has moved out on the map to try to protect some of these outside resources. As I mentioned, the French do struggle a little bit in terms of food, but Beasty is starting a little farm transition in the backhand side of his base. Knows that pretty much all the food's going to kind of be evaporated quite soon. We'll have to deal with that. Beasty does take down this, and another keep is going down for Beasty. It looks like it's going to be a Sacred Site victory selection on this point. But I think he actually could move into this front end side and do a ton of damage. If he takes out this forward outpost that has that plus 1,000 health, he could be sitting in a very good spot. Sass is going to drop the red keep over here. He knows he needs some sort of gold, so this red keep is just trying to secure a little bit of something. Pretty much anything at this point. Here comes the monk, going to decap this, and we should be in a good spot. Now the French cannon is coming in, and that's going to be what the target selection of this is, this outpost over here. So yeah, you have your things, but we have cannons. And oh no, these poor villagers. They're going to be completely mopped up. Beasty cleans up a quick 5, easy as you'd like, and this forward outpost is going down. And look at that cannon throwing seeds up front, and then there we go. It takes even more stone, so Beasty can just keep throwing down stone after stone after stone without a care in the world. And now they do find the red. They find the red palace actually, which is brutal. And there we go, they're going to be engaging onto this. Jeanne gives that AoE. Look at that heal, absolutely insane. We have a mangonel coming in. Doesn't want to participate in the fight just yet. There we go. It's going to be moving out. The keep is going to be going down. It looks like this red palace will be going down as well. Some nice mangonel shots over there, but these Imperial Age Knights are just so good at sopping up all sorts of damage. Jeanne does go down, but with that many spears, actually she does not go down. With that many spears, they were able to hold this. So that's the power of Sass's composition. If you do get into a choke point where they can't get us around, Beasty that is a graveyard for knights. Absolutely brutal. We do still have a ton of arbs though on the map, 39 in total, and it looks like Sass GG'd. He knows what was coming. He couldn't out-sustain them, and when Beasty got that third sacred site, he knew he couldn't actually push out with that armor composition. That armor composition was designed to counter dives, and after that fight went so poorly, Beasty had the amount of kind of resources to build back up. I'm not sure if Sass could have held or pushed out. So GG is called. Guys, thank you so much for joining. If you guys did enjoy, please do like and subscribe. It'd mean a lot to me. And I hope to see you guys as well at my show match that will be coming up on the 30th. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a great night.